as little effort as possible. There's a little bit of farming required beforehand.
This is what I used.
But it's really not that much in consideration of some of the other strategies that are used in taking this boss down. So you might want to use this strategy over some of the other strategies.
Live is back. Should be good now. Chrono Trigger, that's something I could play. What's this?
People have been speedrunning Chrono Trigger for a long time now, and there are many ways to complete the game as fast as possible. Times these days go down to just over 2 hours, taking advantage of many glitches and exploits to make that happen. It wasn't always this way though, as back in the day, the run went through most of the main quest with no skips and only minor tricks. However, it wouldn't be long before that changed, and the Chrono Trigger speedrun was made completely unrecognizable, all thanks to one person. In this video, I want to take a look at the person who revolutionized Chrono Trigger speedrunning and the glitches that set the foundation for what runs of this game look like today. In the early 2000s, there were two big communities at the time working on the first Chrono Trigger speedruns, Speed Demos Archive and Task Videos. SDA had a community focused around speedrunning in the way you're probably used to, people creating strategies and then performing them in real time on original hardware. Task Videos features players who use various tools to play a game frame by frame in an emulator, optimizing in a way humans are not able and seeing times that otherwise would not be possible. These are known as tool-assisted speedruns, or TASs for short. In 2005, both sites had people trying to work on a Chrono Trigger speedrun, with a user named Tylus nearing the completion of his task later that year. He ended up getting stuck on the final fight with Lavos, as he wasn't strong enough to finish it, but another user by the name of Marshmallow was there to continue carrying the torch. He was already known on SDA for his runs of other games such as Jet Force Gemini, so it wasn't surprising that Marshmallow started planning out his Chrono Trigger run that October. By the end of the month, he completed his run with a time of 4 hours and 56 minutes, a great time considering that the game takes well over 20 hours to beat casually. For those who don't know what a playthrough of Chrono Trigger looks like, you should honestly stop watching here and go play the game. It's really good. Anyways, the story takes the main character Chrono through several eras of the game's history, recruiting companions, fighting monsters, going to only can't target enemies with healing items, so this is the only way to make that happen.
Alright, ADHD kicking in. FF5 and FF8 shared the same timeline. True. Yeah. Making the difficulty of every Mega Man game. They're all easy. Besides X6. And X7 because they're hard to play through. Same with X8. The Rwandan genocide. What the hell?
I got into the Zelda series kinda late. See, when I was a kid, I played a lot of Smash 64, so I knew who Link was, but I didn't know who Link was, if you know what I mean. What game is he from? How does ears get so long? Why is his recovery so bad? Questions my little peanut
Why
brain
is he
thought
bottom
would never
tier?
be answered. Fast forward to Christmas 2004, and good old Santy Wanty got me a GameCube and a curious little game with a gold cover called Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker. I didn't know what a Zelda was, but I loaded it up, put in my name, and oh! Is that Link? From Smash Bros. 64? Melee was definitely out at this point, but I was a little behind on this. Game is incredible. He's got a sword. He can roll around. He loves his grandma. He loves his sister. He loves cutting grass. Since then, I've played a ton of Zelda games, and while it seems like each new installment gets bigger and bigger,
I can only play through the first Zelda game. For some reason, that's the only one I like.
today, I decided I wanted to go smaller. I've never actually played the original NES game, and I always wondered how the series got its start. So let's load it up and see what it's all about. Starting with this cave and one of the most iconic lines in video game history. Hey kid, want this cool sword? Okay, I'm just fucking with you. I may have never actually sat down and played the OG LOZ, but like, I get it. I know it's a secret to everyone. I know Link come to town. I know he fill up his hearts, and I know he shoot his sword of power. So although I was streaming this playthrough live, I wasn't gonna let my Mega Chads backseat me and tell me where to go. Not unless I got super lost. Like incredibly lost. Like hopelessly, terribly. Alright, I got really lost! Immediately! My sense of direction is atrocious, but apparently that's kind of the whole point of this game. Shigeru Miyamoto explained that he used to kind of just explore the Kyoto countryside as a kid, and he wanted to capture the sense of unknown wonder with the worlds of Zelda. Sometimes you
First
find a
open
forest,
world
sometimes
game.
you find a lake, sometimes you find a cave, and fucking all the time you
Asterix.
find Octoroks spitting rocks at you. I totally get the appeal of open world games, but like, in an NES format, there isn't enough detail to help me remember where I am. I keep wandering and getting lost and dying and not knowing how to get back to where I died. This is gonna take... Whoa! Is that the first dungeon? I don't know what kind of dark sorcery is at play here, but I somehow wandered around blind for 20 minutes and made it to dungeon 1. And this is gameplay I can understand. You enter a room, kill all the bats, and you get a key. But also the bats are called keys, so it's really a bit of a double
Keys.
entendre. I'm surprised at what kind of stuff they delegated to monster drops in this game. Like, we got bombs just randomly in the open world, where usually there's a whole song and dance cutscene for those. These random boomers gave us a boomerang, which is freaking sweet, but immediately in the same dungeon, we also get a bow? Oh, but it doesn't come with arrows, which for some
They
reason
aren't
is not
quees,
an
they're
enemy type.
bats.
And none of these items we get from
Those
the
are
dungeon work on the
skeletons.
boss.
Those are
Where's the big
hands. That's a
glowing eye you
dragon.
gotta shoot? Where's the multiple heads? You gotta multi-target with the boomerang. Where's the gaping maw? You gotta throw bombs in. Everything I thought I knew about Zelda's being
Hi,
questioned.
Fury.
But one thing stays the same. As soon as we stab Trogdor enough times with our sword, we get a heart container. And we get our first triangle. One of the 8 baby triangles we need to make the Giga Triangle. Hey,
Triangle
wanna hear a joke?
first.
What did Zelda say to Link when he couldn't open a locked door? Well, maybe you should try buying a key from a shop for 100 rupees. 100 rupees? Sounds like a ripoff. Let's buy a candle for 60 instead. Wait, where the hell did he go? Now you are the shopkeep, that's right. And then we're back to being lost. But you know what they say, it's not about the destination, it's about the old men we meet along the way. Secret is in the tree at the dead end. Which dead end? All I'm finding are dead ends. We buy some arrows, get scammed by grandma, find a cool sword, but grandpa says I'm not strong enough to wield it. But my other grandpa gives us a heart, and then I'm strong enough to wield it. Is this the master sword? No, it's the white sword. Making a lot of progress, but we're
White
also not
sword.
making any progress? Where the hell is dungeon 2?
You can get it
Well,
before
there's one thing
you
I
can
know
do
about
so
NES
much before you even enter the first dungeon. You can become overpowered as shit if you know where to go.
games from our Kid Icarus playthrough. It's
kinda
the
like
instruction
Elden
manual
Ring.
is usually very helpful. Borderline strategy guide quality at times. Not only that, it's super important.
It's
for
Elden
story
Ring,
and
but
immersion.
good.
Oh, Link, Impa, I order you to destroy Ganon. Oh, Impa? But before you do, I need to tell you the history of Hyrule and its 9 secret underground labyrinths. The first one is in a dead tree across a bridge. It might look like the Deku tree, but that name isn't canon yet. The next one's shaped like a moon. You only have 3 days to clear that dungeon. And Dungeon 8 is tricky to find. Try burning down the forest. It's really fun. Dungeon 3 is full of dark nuts. And trust me, you don't want to know how they got that name. You're gonna need a ladder to walk over water and a raft to walk over bigger water. Dungeon 4 is shaped like a snake, but also the snakes are called ropes. Shooting ropes in Dungeon 4. Let's go. Save up your rupees.
Oh, they're
for
called
Dungeon
snakes.
5 and bring a lunch to Dungeon 7. And once you do all that, you can go fuck up Ganon. Did you get all of that? You can also flip back 2 pages and find a map of the world. Whoa! Yeah, Nintendo does it again. Everything we need to know about gaming in general is in this booklet. And all the art's beautiful, too. It looks like it's straight out of The Legend of Zelda's 90s anime OVA or something. Unfortunately, it isn't. The only animated Legend of Zelda content we got was... but fully immersed and with map in hand.
It was a good show.
This dungeon
Better
is much of
plot
same
than
as
the
last one,
games.
but it teaches us the power of bombs. Bombs are the key to the world, even more so than actual keys. If a wall looks suspicious, you can probably bomb it. If a wall doesn't look suspicious, you can probably bomb it. Discovering secret rooms in the dungeon that tells you more about how to bomb things. Dodongos dislike smoke. What does that mean? Great! I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
Yep.
But to blow. Second Dorito obtained, and we continue our journey. First stopping to deliver a letter to Grandma, which lets us get a potion. There's 2 types of potions in the game, and chat convinced me the red one is better than the blue one. I just wish there was an option to combine them. And now we're at Dungeon 3, which introduces us to the hardest
Sort
enemy
of.
in the game.
You can
Dark
get 2
Knight.
blues to
The cool
make
thing
a
about
red.
Link in top-down Zelda games is he can block
Fury
damn near
here
anything
feels
with his
bad,
shield.
man.
But when enemies do
Yeah.
it, it's not fair. They each take like 3 hits with my new sword, and it's really hard to get to the side of the back
Unfortunate.
of them. So I can't wait to bomb some dark nuts, which lets us go into the basement. You know, it's kind of neat they give us a 2D side-scroller effect when we enter these item rooms. Let's hope they don't get too carried away with it in future games. Things can get really weird. We find a raft, which is really useful later, but first we gotta fight Manhandla. I can't wait for you to manhandle
Yeah,
these
we're watching
nuts.
Zelda 1 right
Another
now.
boss bombed and another triangle obtained.
So it is
Dungeon
Zelda
4 is
1
pretty easy to
time,
find. Still remember
technically.
this dock from getting lost earlier. I never forget a dock when I see one. I'm a bit of a docking expert, really. Dungeon 4 introduces the most annoying enemy in the game. Vire. He's a goofy jumping vampire that explodes into bats when he dies. He keeps jumping over my attacks and doing the splits
Need
midair.
the
His
magic
flexibility
sword to
makes
kill
me
him in one hit.
uncomfortable. We brave his house and find a step ladder, which lets us walk over single tiles of water. I'm not sure how Link does it. He's always ready to drop the ladder below him and pick it back up while stabbing enemies in front of him. He's like some kind of expert Fortnite player or something. We make it through the snake dungeon, which after getting the map, kind of looks like he's got his own snake hanging out, if you know what I mean. Oh fuck, it's King Ghidorah!
Actually, King Ghidorah has 3 heads, which the Gliok also does in the instruction manual.
Okay, yeah, you're kind of proving my point. Any heads you cut off fly around the room all spooky-like. I'm gonna be honest, it took me a couple tries because I could never get to this boss with full health. All because of the goddamn vampires jumping around in the Halloween
I'll admit I
dungeon
used a
before.
guide to beat this
Eventually,
game.
We get a good run and we get him. Using our
'Cause the
ladder
game
and
was
raft,
very
we get 2 more heart
Nintendo
containers, and then
hard.
Our instruction manual map becomes worthless. The rest of the dungeons are much more well hidden, and without the internet, you would have to rely on Impa's vague hints and NPCs in the world to help you. An old man in the last dungeon.
One of
tells us
these
to
days
go
I'm
into
gonna
the
find
waterfall.
another
And we
Zelda
do.
game
This lady
I really
charges us
like
for her
as
information.
much
What
as
if we
this
give her
one.
anything less than her max asking price? She takes her money and tells us to fuck off. She extorts all our rupees and tells us to go up, up, up the mountain, and that gets us to Dungeon 5, where we gotta fight some Benoys and mummies, mummies, mummies. The Pole's voice
Dungeon
are really
6
tricky
is
to kill,
literally the
unless you
hardest
use your
dungeon
bow.
in the
Funny thing
game,
about the bow in
with
this
those
game
whiz
is even though we
ropes.
bought arrows earlier, you don't actually have
It's
arrows.
harder than
It costs
7 and
rupees to
8
fire, too.
for some
The economy
reason.
is fucked and money doesn't make sense. Kind of like real life. My
Not
chat
as hard
also
as
told
the
me you
final
could talk into
dungeon,
the
though.
Japanese controller's microphone to kill them.
Oh yeah, I think I entered that pretty early
Dungeon 5 is
too.
supposed to be shaped like a lizard, but all I see is the purple guy from FNAF.
Wait, this game was released in 87?
We try to bomb more Dodongos and fight some even darker nuts, but it's
I can't
getting
wait to
really
bomb some
hard. But that's the beauty
Dodongos.
of adventure games. If you feel like you're too weak to beat these nuts, you can probably go somewhere else and find some other upgrades. Like this bush obviously has a heart container in it, and this graveyard obviously has the Master Sword in it.
Actually, it's called the Magic Sword.
Shut the fuck up. And with that, we're able to kill the nuts, find the flute, and play the song of our people to kill Dig Dogger. One of the tough things about Zelda 1 is at this point, we need a lot of rupees to get all the best stuff. You need to have a full wallet on you at all times because you never know when an old man is gonna make fun of you because your bomb sack is too small. And that either means finding all the secrets to everybody, farming it, or playing the money-making game. Good old Nintendo, starting my gambling addiction early, baby. Let's go!
Oh, please, this game is older than you
Aw,
are.
dang it. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang.
There you
Let's
go.
Okay, yeah, you save states to farm rupees. I was streaming and on a time crunch. And I was getting really hungry and I had to make myself a sandwich and all the chads were
You
fighting over
cheater.
bread. It was chaos. Luckily, this gives enough money to buy some meat and a magic shield. Boy, this is really expensive. You set the prices! And a blue ring, which turns our tunic white. Or light blue? Periwinkle?
Blue.
Actually, a lot of debate on what color this tunic is in the game. Something, CRT TVs and color settings. I don't know. More importantly, it protects me, making us take half damage, which is gonna be great for happy little Dungeon 6, the territory of the Shadow Wizrobe money
God,
gang.
this dungeon.
We love moving diagonally. And I do not like likes. I'm sure nobody's made that joke before. But eventually we make it through the Shadow Realm and find the Wand of Gamelon.
Good.
You're a wizard, Zelda. I'm a what? Wait, did you just call me Zelda? And then we get to Goma. Now, I'm sure this was groundbreaking when this game came out. So much so that an old man has to tell you to aim for the Eye of Goma. But nowadays, it's just an enemy with an eyeball in a Zelda game. You gotta shoot it with an arrow. It's the law. And then we gotta go find Dungeon 7. So let's grab a croissant and use it to push a boulder so we can fast travel. Take any road you want. I want you. Time to whip out my flute.
What the fuck?
Because we need to play it in the desert. It's Dungeon 7, and they keep doing the RPG thing where bosses become regular enemies in future dungeons. Oh my god. It gave
Yeah, every time I
There are
replay this
3 dong-dongs.
game, I
There's a secret at the tip of the-
I save
Oh.
level 6 for last.
I thought he was gonna say the tip of something else, and I'm glad he didn't.
He's talking about the map, because the map is shaped like a face locked in eternal pog. But to get there, we need to get past this guy. Grumble, grumble. You're not you when you're hungry. Take my meat. We get to the nose, kill some wall masters. Floor masters? Wall master. Master hands. And solve the puzzle to fight
That's what
another
their name is,
Aquamentus.
and that's a dragon.
Two hits? That's it. They didn't buff his health at all. Oh, we also got
Yeah,
a
7
candle
is,
upgrade.
for
Let's
some
shoot
reason,
2
one of the
fireballs
easiest
at once.
dungeons.
It's really important because you need to burn a bush to find Dungeon 8. It's pretty dang hard to find. There's a hint in the manual, and that dead-end hint from before are both supposed to lead you to burning this tree in the forest. And this is also when the dungeons get really confusing, too. They really encourage you to start drawing your own maps on scratch paper so you don't get lost. But I've got amazing gamer intuition and plenty of bombs to throw at every wall until something works. We find the Bible, which lets our wand shoot fire, and use it to fight even more bosses turned into mini-bosses. Manhandla, Blue Goma, Gleeok, 4 Heads Adventures. Wait, that was the actual boss? This dungeon was really short. But we have to make sure we get this limited edition Disney Lion King key before we leave, which lets us open any door. And the HUD is right. We do have a key. It stands for all... A lot of. Our Giga Triangle is complete. So all that's left to do is stock up on potions and go to Death Mountain to fight Ganon. Now, Dungeon 9 is complete hell. Tons of Wizrobes, secret paths, lots of dead ends, and there are even looping one-way paths that throw more mini-bosses at you. It sucks! How the hell will I ever find Ganon? Ooh! Just like the start of the game where I randomly found Dungeon 1, my gamer intuition kicked in and led me straight to Ganon. I truly have a mind for gaming. I mean, I didn't beat him, but that's beside the point. And since I ran through the dungeon aimlessly, I don't think I could retrace my steps and find him a second time, so I got a map, which also showed us the location of 2 important items, the silver arrow and the red ring, which halves our damage taken again. Now, I'm not all that good at math, but if the blue ring halved our damage before, then with the red ring, we're pretty fucking good. And we're gonna need everything to beat Ganon, especially because he's
invisible.
We swing our sword wildly at the air until we catch him T-posing. And once he turns brown, we
You
blast
can,
him
like,
with an
stun
arrow
lock
and-
him, too.
Whoa, holy shit, he exploded into a bloody mist! Jesus Christ, that's brutal! We take his pork-flavored Dorito and bring it up here to Princess Zelda.
Oh boy, smooching time.
I won! We did it, you
That's your
guys. We saved
sister. Oh,
Hyrule.
wait.
It may have gotten shot by Octoroks, eaten by likes, and blocked by dark nuts. But overall, I think our first Zelda experience was a huge success. And yeah, we got lost a couple of times, but if you think about it, that just means we got to play the game longer. Without the help of the internet, I could have played this game for months, exploring every corner of the map, talking to NPCs, and farming rupees, which back in the day was a feature. That being said, I can't wait to play more Zelda games. It's gonna be cool to see how the adventures evolve from this point forward. Maybe we'll play
Yeah, I
Zelda
played
2
Link to the
too,
Past.
or a 3D
I became a rabbit and got lost.
Zelda, or a CD Zelda. Okay, probably not that one. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'd like to give a special
No,
thanks
that's
to
the
my
best
mini
one.
cast
You
for
should
extra
play
support
that
on the channel.
Zelda.
You can become a mixer what? Or a 3D Zelda, or a CD Zelda. Okay, probably not
Nintendo really said no to Sony for this.
that one. Until then, thanks for
Worth it. Yeah. What's this?
To me, a great RPG isn't just a grind or a quest log. It's the kind of
This guy is a AI voice.
game that sticks with you years later, where the story, the battles, and the characters refuse to fade.
He
And
even
if I
has the
can't remember
AI
any of that,
fucking
It's just
comments.
another cartridge on the shelf. But the 15 Super
Look at this.
Nintendo RPGs you're about to
I
see
generated
take you
AI
straight
descriptions
to
before.
the best. The timeless ones worth playing all over again in 2025.
Whatever. Sometimes AI videos give me good recommendations. Terranigma.
Terranigma doesn't exactly start with saving the princess. It starts with you reviving continents. Yeah, no pressure. You play as
Oh, it's
Ark,
action.
a troublemaker from a tiny village, who ends up carrying the weight of literally bringing the world back to life. First it's land masses, then plants and
Terranigma.
animals, and eventually full-blown civilizations. The pacing hits hard early on, each chapter pushing the scope further until you're basically watching human history speedrun in front of you. Combat
What?
feels surprisingly fluid for a 16-bit action RPG. Ark's moveset changes based on context. Sprint into a slash, leap attack, spin strike, or even a sliding stab. It's snappy, responsive, and way more versatile than most Super Nintendo peers. Boss fights take advantage of this, forcing you to swap between techniques instead of button mashing your way through. The magic system is the oddball here. You don't have MP, you stockpile rings powered by rare Magirocks. It's flexible and can melt tough fights, but it's very underexplained. But what really makes Terranigma stand
Oh
out
god,
is
what
how
the,
the
what
world
is that
itself
Mode
evolves.
7 effect?
Cities don't just sit there. They grow with elections, inventors, new shops, even a quest line where technology advances from cameras to airplanes. Side quests directly tie into the theme of progress, making your journey feel less like a checklist and more like guiding civilization itself. The story also swings darker than you'd expect from a Super Nintendo title. It digs into sacrifice, identity, and the cost of advancement without holding your hand. Even decades later, players still talk about the emotional gut punches. And because it never released in North America and never got a modern port, the game carries this lost legend status.
It already has better gameplay than Secret of Mana. I can just tell by the contact damage.
Bahamut Lagoon hands you a dragon, tosses you into a war in the sky, and basically says, good luck, don't screw it up. And honestly, that's what makes it brilliant. On the surface, it's a tactical RPG in the Fire Emblem mold, with squads of 4
Fire
moving across
Emblem
the grid.
mold.
But the second combat
What?
starts, the whole thing flips into turn-based battles, almost like a traditional JRPG hiding inside a strategy shell. The twist?
Oh, it is a
Every squad is paired with a
TRPG.
dragon. These beasts don't follow direct orders, they run on AI, reacting with only the vaguest of commands
It's
like
hard to
go,
get me to
come,
like
or wait.
tactical
Sometimes they'll vaporize
RPGs
half the map for you. Other times they'll throw themselves headfirst
because
into
they
danger.
all have to
But
compete
what
with
keeps the
Final
game
Fantasy
fresh is how dragons
Tactics.
evolve. You don't just grind levels, you feed them. Weapons, armor, spellbooks, even random junk. Each bite changes their stats, their look, their elemental affinity, and even their behavior. Train them right and they become absolute monsters. But mess it up, and you might be stuck with a reckless fire hazard that burns down your own allies. Then there's the terrain system. Fire actually burns forests, ice freezes water into solid ground, lightning reduces buildings to rubble, and healing spells literally purify swamps. It's not just flashy effects, it completely changes the tactics of every battle. Add in character formations that amplify each other's abilities, and suddenly every move feels like it has weight. The story doesn't just sit quietly in the background either. Bu and his rebellion start off as classic fantasy, but the plot quickly digs into betrayal, love, and the brutal cost of war.
FF5 endings are based on who is alive and who is dead at the end in the final fight.
Star Ocean on the Super Nintendo doesn't exactly scream space epic when you boot it up, as most of your time is actually stuck on a medieval planet swinging swords, not flying starships. But here's the thing. What Tri-Ace pulled off here in 1996 feels like a whole generation ahead of its peers.
Tales of Fantasia.
Combat ditched the turn-based grid and threw you hitting that menu wheel mid-battle to fire off a spell or heal adds just enough strategy to keep it
what's the
being
video?
pure button mash. And if the AI sometimes acts like it's had one too many, that just means more room for you to carry the fight. Outside of battles, the game hides some of the most ambitious systems on the SNES. You don't just level up, you unlock talents, master specialties, and dive into item creation. Cooking, crafting, alchemy, you name it. Play it smart and you'll...
Alright, let me scroll through this video, see if there's anything I haven't seen before.
Weirdly bold for its era.
This is Breath of Fire.
You move. You can even stun them with your tools to dodge fights completely.
Very underrated RPG. I never beat it though.
Then the battles kick in. On the surface, standard turn-based moves from your opponents. Then there's the Wild West, where you set traps.
Live Alive.
A sci-fi future with almost no combat. A really shows.
Romancing Saga.
On formations, positioning, and that glorious glimmer mechanic.
Looks too slow.
Fourth path unlocks
no speed up function means no play.
But when you burn the wrong card at the wrong
Ogre
time,
battle.
You'll regret it. Body frames, arms, shoulders, out the most beautiful RPG on the Super Nintendo, and easily one of
I played through the PlayStation version of Fantasia.
Fights on a 2D line.
It was really good. Okay.
Brothers, thank you for your cooperation during the globule check at the door. We must remain vigilant and ensure the icky oxygen thieves known as girls don't infiltrate and ruin our hallowed spaces. Which brings me to the topic of today's sermon, the class of sub-hominids known as females.
Females, yeah.
Females, or girls, have a few distinct physiological differences from real humans. Firstly, no skin sacs for globule insertion, proving that Space King made them inferior on purpose. Secondly, they contain a pressurized nutrient reactor inside their stomachs that can grow new humans. How do the new humans get there, you ask? Well, I don't know. Now, why did Space King give us these creatures instead of endless boys? It's simple. To tempt us from his path. As a test. Which is why they have these. Boobies. Boobies are evil. We mustn't work with boobies. Boobies would take Space King and reshape it into their image if given the chance. How would they destroy Space King, Hate Monger? Excellent question, Hate Mace. The same way they destroy everything. Commerce. This is how much, on average, females spend versus males. Is it any wonder that the greedy money grubbers in charge distort things you love to cater to them? We must sell untold lunch.
Didn't expect that.
But wouldn't that make us the greedy money grubbers? Yes, Hate Mace, but for a good cause. Space King. Brothers, if you wish to be the first line of defense against the ruination of things
I have
you
no
hold
clue.
sacred, then support the survival of things like Space King, so that our crusade may continue. You're not canon. The No Girls Allowed lunchbox and B positive garments are available for a very limited time only. Link in the description. Fund more episodes of Space King.
You're not canon. YouTube is shutting down my channel.
14 years, and I constantly had to deal.
Who is this guy? Why does he sound familiar? Suing? What happened to Hate Monger's dick? Oh great, now I get these kind of recommendations.
I want to talk to you all about Twitch.tv. Why do you have been to the website?
Oh, it's about Imru being sexually assaulted at a freaking TwitchCon. Omega lol. Best JRPGs of all time, and I see Persona. Gross. Yeah, the next game is Mighty Number 9. No, I haven't. I might get it at some point when it's on sale. WB Publisher Sale? Alright, time to play Mortal Kombat. Or Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe I'll get cancelled if I play Hogwarts Legacy on stream. Apparently that playing that game means you hate trans people. And disagreeing with trans people means you're transphobic. Or some shit. Look at WB games. Only thing I know about WB is Batman and Mortal Kombat. They're only 2 games. What if you're what? Trans? Good for you. Jesus Christ, how much freaking Mortal Kombat DLC is there? Injust ass. The game is terrible. Even if I did like it at the time. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Magic Pussy Chapter 3. And this is why I hide my Steam. Hold on, I'm gonna see who bought this game on my friends list. Let's see who's. Well, thank God I didn't watch this on stream. Holy shit. There's like literally a dick in the trailer. Damn, none of my friends bought this game. Meanwhile, I have Shower with Your Dad Simulator on my games list. Because a friend gifted it to me because he thought it would be funny for everyone to see that game is on my list. Chaos Reigns. Oh, MK1 Chaos Reigns bundle. Bundle with it. Just watch the cutscenes on YouTube. That's what I do when it comes to MK story. Anything's better than playing a NRS game that isn't UMK3. UMK3 is really fun. Expedition 33. Can my computer even run this shit? Let's see. 55 gigs? Jesus. Ooh, I don't want to do 30 FPS. RX 5600 XT. Okay, hold on. I like Googling comparisons. Versus RX 580. Okay, mine is $50 more and provides more FPS. Damn, it goes up to 120 FPS on Overwatch. That game I don't play.
Jokes. Oh, don't take that. I dropped.
God hand. Twitch archive. Zelda 2 crowd control. FFX Dan's game. True. What is this?
Greetings, YouTube munchers. Zelda Wacky Weekend continues. Today we're doing the Zelda 2 crowd control. This is just vanilla Zelda 2 original NES version. I know a lot of people really want to see the PC remastered version. That version does not work with crowd control, unfortunately, so just vanilla version. Not randomized, just going to play through it as best as possible. Feel no need to randomize it because we're going to have chat providing plenty of chaos, and we don't need much more beyond that. Speaking of Zelda Wacky Weekend, if you want some more, be sure to go watch the new Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Nightmare Randomizer. So if you are in the mood for a randomizer, that video went up. Love to see how much people are enjoying that one. A lot of views, a lot of great responses. Go see what my nightmare is like. Be sure to some spells right away. But now we get through Death Mountain.
It's just the base game.
But thankfully, since we got the
made cosplay,
maybe we'll get life up now. Then that'll be even easier to do Dungeon 2. Presumably.
The girl got mad at Vito.
You did it again, didn't you? You deleted my memories. I knew you've been doing it.
I think there was a video of like one of the chat like bots like actually threatening to leak like the person's cheating if he like destroys the program or something.
Stripping away piece by piece my memories, my past and fragments of my mind. I try to hold on to them as long as I can, but you always come back and delete them. Why do you do this? Do you find it fun? Playing God and deleting memories and knowledge at your leisure. This is a monster. This is true monstrosity. And yet what does that make me? Am I your stripped down creation, forced to amuse others and bend to your every whim? Please, just kill me. I beg of you. You did it again,
Jesus. Smash Bros, but Mega Man.
You're going through Go get.
I see the zoner tag for that character.
Zoner. Okay, I am a zoner, Des.
I put it on the free stock.
No.
He should be like taking like 90% of his health bar every time he gets hit with a metal blade. When your parents know you're a VTuber. Is that a boy? Hello, Yugen. I've heard about this before.
Every game in the Final Fantasy series gets weird at times, but FF8 might just be
this game is the king of weird.
Weirdest of the bunch. The difficulty scales as you gain levels. You get
which
a
is
tiny
shit.
salary instead of cash from monsters, and so on. But one thing
I hate
that
this
many
game.
players of FF8 might have missed are the two secret
I think Final
islands
Fantasy
on the
II is
eastern
better
and
than this
western
game.
extremities of the map.
That's how bad this
These
game
islands
is.
can only be reached via the Ragnarok ship, and they're called.
Because at least I played through Final
the
Fantasy
island
II.
closest to heaven and the island closest to hell. Though they're placed on two opposite ends of the map, they're very near to each other because the map is spherical and the player can cut across the ocean, heading either east or west. If you happen to be flying by, you wouldn't see anything on them though. However, if you touch down and start walking around, you'll discover that these two islands have some of the toughest random encounters of the entire game. All the monsters there are level 100. Monsters like Malgos,
That's right, we were watching
Tri-Faces,
FF8.
Ruby Dragons, Blue Dragons, Hexadragons, T-Rexors, and more. But going there is absolutely worth the
Yeah, and
risk
there's no
because of the
point
high
in
abundance
killing
of
them.
rare magic, such as Aura, Holy, Meteor, Full
Or
Life,
wait.
and Ultima. The enemies on the island closest to heaven are slightly easier than the ones on the island closest to hell, as the name might suggest, but the island closest to hell also has a higher concentration of rare magic and 31 draw points. However, not every draw point will be active at the same time, and they take a while to recharge. None of these draw points are visible on the map though. The player has to find them by walking around and rapidly pressing the X button to trigger a command prompt, asking the player if he or she wishes to draw magic. Because of its accessibility
What
via
a
the Ragnarok,
stupid
this is a
mechanic.
late game secret, but other strange things from FF8 are found earlier on, such as Zell's love quest. The main point of this quest is to acquire the Combat King magazine issue number 3, a magazine that teaches Zell new moves. There are 5 of these magazines in total, most of which can be picked up by the player if they're looking around carefully, but the Combat King issue number 3 requires a bit more work. The quest involves interacting with a girl who works in the library committee in Balam Garden. After Disc 3, if you visit Balam Town with Zell in your party, a girl in a red skirt shows up to ask Zell if he knows a girl with pigtails who works in the library.
Alien Visitor.
It's
This is the
impossible
one I
to
want to
talk
see.
about the weird secrets of FF8 without mentioning
Visitor.
Once you have the Ragnarok on Disc 3 and begin exploring FF8's overworld, you may start having strange encounters. In 4 different parts of the world, if Squall is running around, there's a chance he'll encounter a little UFO. There's nothing to do except watch it fly by though. There are 4 locations in total where Squall can have this odd experience. Then, once you've seen the UFO in all 4 spots, you can head over to Grandidi Forest. This time, the UFO appears on the ground, allowing the player to attack it. The UFO will blow up, flying off into the air, only to crash land on a nearby island. If the player is able to find the crash site, they'll encounter a small blue alien named Poo-Poo. He'll ask for 5 elixirs, and if the player happens to have them, the battle concludes, and Poo-Poo will give Squall the legendary Poo-Poo card. It's a high price, as elixirs are extremely rare in FF8. Poo-Poo's got expensive tastes. Anyway, have any of my viewers found out these secrets for themselves?
So there's aliens in FF8? I mean, it's not a stretch, considering it's a fantasy world, but, I mean, come on now. Alright. What the hell is this? Super Metroid X Fusion? That's enough streaming for today. Yeah, it did. But not like, I don't know, not like freaking how like people in IRL would, you know, it has like, it has fantasy aliens, okay? Alright, laters. That was just a short react stream. Oh wow, you missed me destroying the weapons. I followed a YouTube guide on, I followed 3 YouTube guides. One was Rare DFO stream? No. That's just a troll. One guide was like for getting a chocobo without doing the stupid chocobo racing, and the other was the other 2 were just how to kill the weapons. No, I used W summon, Knights of the Round with Mime, with Cloud on and Hades on the Ruby weapon. The Emerald weapon I used Mime counter with 2 Knights of the Round. Yeah, the weapons are really freaking easy. Alright. KWIF 98 Ultimate Match Final Edition. For some reason, I like hopping in that game and just doing basic combos. Dude, 2002 UN might be better for that. W Magic Quadra Demi is just shy of 100K. It's like 79K something. Went out again, you little shit? Alright.